All right, I think it's going. I think we're good. All right, Amy, I believe this is for you. So this is my reflection assignment video post for, I guess, the duration of EBP classes 1 through 37, including doctoral seminar. So looking over your list of prompts here, I made a little outline, stuff I wanted to talk about. A couple of the main things that I thought that I would touch on first were the question or the prompt following, what have you studied that you find interesting? I think that's kind of a funny question because a lot of EBP, at least the first couple of years, really, don't be offended, but I didn't find very interesting as far as like learning terms, learning, all the different tests and research and stuff. But the farther we got into EBP, I really found out, I thought the whole learning how to do research, how to perform research, how to find articles on the library databases, and how to evaluate research, rank it using the Pedro score, the Joule level of evidence. But I feel like that was the thing that I found most interesting was actually learning how to do the research, using the library databases, and also using the lady from the library. I can't think of her name right now, but when she came over to taught us about the in-text citations, references, plagiarism, all of those things, like that was interesting to me because that that's something you can take and apply to any aspect of physical therapy, whether or not you're going to be doing specific quote unquote research. So I like that. That was probably what I got most out of this course, or at least what I was most interested in. Was learning all that, so then we can apply it to the doctoral seminar and the research presentation and everything that we just recently completed. All right, another prompt on the handout sheet that you gave us that that I'd like to touch on would be will what you have learned change your behavior as a physical therapist in the future? This answer for me is more of a yes and a no. I feel that I will definitely use the skills developed for finding research and using the research that we find to shape and guide how I practice in the future. But just to stay on top of current trends and whatnot. Sorry. But yeah, so I don't think what I learned in evidence will change how I interact with my patients or change any of that as far as my behavior as a PT. But it'll definitely this class and what I've learned is definitely encourage me to read research. The importance of actually reading research and staying up to date and as current as possible. For all topics, not just the ones in what I'm particularly interested in, but you can really learn a lot just from reading the research, which after learning how to really navigate through all the different databases, I am confident that I'll be able to do that and have done that on clinicals and stuff when I needed to find information on a particular patient rather than just going right to the textbook. I hop on the school's webpage and get over on the library site and find research on that rather than just reading definitions in a textbook. All right, keeping things moving right along here. I'm going to go with the next prompt that I wanted to touch on was to describe how I have grown professionally related to EBP and doctoral seminar. This one actually, and the next one I'm going to talk about, did working in a group help the ability to collaborate professionally? I'm kind of linking these two, at least linking part of the points. So, describe how I have grown professionally related to EBP. I think the biggest thing was my ability to work in a group. Working in a group is not always easy. There's 4 people in our group. That's 4 different opinions. That's 4 different ways of doing everything. And I don't know if you know the members of my group, but we're all kind of a little strong-headed, a little hard-headed. So things can get a little heated at times, but you know, throughout this project, I learned how to compromise a little bit better, and another thing that I really think we learned was to actually just to delegate tasks. Like, things move a lot smoother when there's 4 of us all working on 4 different things, rather than 4 people trying to work on one thing with input coming in from 4 different sides, and it's just a mess, because we've experienced a mess a couple times. But I really think that is, what is, EBP has made me grow professionally in that sense, in how to work, in a group, and how to, compromise and still get the job done, and, still accomplish the end goal. But it's not always going to be the way you want it on the path to get there. You got to, incorporate everybody else's thoughts and feelings into it too. And I think this group project really helped me be able to do that. And then to link this in with the next one, did working in a group help your ability to collaborate professionally? I 110% agree with that statement. Yes, it most definitely did. With the big new team approach to patient care and giving patients the best possible care, especially like in an inpatient setting where you have doctors, nurses, PTs, OTs, speech, social work, whatever else, whoever else you may have on the team there. That collaborative approach is what is going to give patients their best possible care. And I think that the group work here really helped be able to take that from the classroom setting and put it into the clinical setting to where, what am I trying to say? To where I can go out on the clinical setting and work with people from multiple disciplines and still be able to get my point across and be heard, but also still at the same time allow them to get their point across, be heard, and still not have anyone stepping on anybody's toes or making anyone feel like belittled. But wow, that sounds right. Sorry. All right, but yeah, in the clinical setting, being able to say your piece and let all other disciplines, say theirs, and then come to a conclusion together as a group as to the best possible plan of action, if you will. And this group project and working with that definitely help develop those skills, and that's something that you'll always have when you're practicing. But well, those are the 4 major topics that I really wanted to touch on. Just looking at my list and my little note card here. But I would just like to thank Amy for dealing with us, our group. I know we butted heads at times, but we do appreciate all the work that you put in and getting us to our goals, getting us to get to CSM. So thank you, and I'm out.